okay, guys, maybe we screwed up and not drafting a carry. If it does get to the late game and we don't have a carry, then we pretty much lose.
It sucks.
So we don't want to have to deal with that again. And actually, Nomad.
Oh, here we go.
The first, yeah.
Well,
Breaky called it during the break. He was like, okay, I think we're going to see a troll game.
I have a feeling there's going to be a troll style of game here. And, first lock Nomad, it's possible. It is possible. Of course, Nomad, I think you could even say, is probably. Is there really a place for him on the competitive scene nowadays?
Absolutely not.
No. Was there ever?
Yeah, there was, actually.
Was there? Okay.
Before his AE was nerfed, which was the one that made him go invis, it actually did a lot of damage. But now it does poopy damage.
Yeah.
So the only way you can actually do damage, the W actually was buffed, does a little bit more damage than it did. But you don't want to use it because it makes you susceptible. You actually have to go in, and you don't want to do that. It's much better to actually use the double proc from your E with your passive, and it just simply doesn't do enough damage at all right now. Some more locks coming out, Witch Slayer and Dr. Repulsor, Meraxis and Scout. Not the most troll locks. I actually do think Dr. Repulsor has a place in the scene and in the metagame, but teams just aren't man enough to pick him up.
Yes, just like they're not man enough to pick up Scout. TT Esports did when he first came. When Lockpick first happened, TT Esports actually made that a viable strategy for themselves, and they had some success running Scout with Lockpick mode. It actually was very entertaining. But, yeah, we just never really see him. Voodoo Chester, the final lock, again, it's kind of hard to tell. This isn't Q Squad, so interesting there. But it still has a place on the competitive scene. But, yeah, so to say the least, it seems like there's a little bit of a mix here in terms of what teams are going for. There's a couple of heroes. Witch Slayer and Meraxis really are two very possible heroes, wouldn't be surprised to see. But we're going to see 4 out of those 6 heroes. So some interesting stuff definitely ahead of us, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. Now with Scout, I actually think Scout in the suicide lane is very viable. I actually watched a scrim between Complexity, the full roster Complexity versus Orange Esports. And Orange Esports ran a dual lane mid, a solo short, and a suicide Scout with a jungler. And Scout, was able to get levels as you should with that invisibility. In fact, shout out to Jigglebilly for casting that. It was a really fun game to watch. And they rolled over Complexity. Yeah. Like it was 19-2 or something like that. Of course, it wasn't just a scrim, but you always still want to try your best in scrims. Maybe pick a little bit differently, but try your best. And the Suicide Scout definitely has a place in the scene.
Well, I have heard of a strategy with Scout where you actually go Scarab first item as well as mana potions. And all you literally do is sit in your invis and just leech experience in the suicide lane. That's all you do. Sure, you're not getting any creep kills, but you're getting levels, and it's going to add up as the game progresses on. And maybe something like that. Maybe it's different, but
that strat could work, and it does definitely work against in like a lane against, say, 2 or 3, but you don't want to go all in on that idea, because if you're up against 1 and you have a Scarab, you're like, well, crap, I'm
this was stupid.
Yeah. Now, the bans have finished. We got Bubbles, Tundra, Dark Lady, Plague Rider, Draconis, and Nymphora. There's still that silhouette actually already being right-clicked. There's a first pick Hammerstorm. I can't say I've ever seen that happen.
Yeah, that's that never really... Well, TT Esports maybe. Going back to them, but...
First pick, though? I don't know.
Yeah, probably not first pick. You're all right. But Hammerstorm is going to be the first pick, nonetheless, here from Pikachu. So, again, we'll see how Will Smith and crew decides to respond here with their first 2 picks themselves, whether it is going to be more of a fun style of game even. I want to say before we from the word trollish, because it could be fun to see some crazy hero pickups. But or if it's going to be try to be more of a standard game for themselves. I actually wanted to pick up a win here against Pikachu. Of course, Silhouette being right-clicked still. You mentioned it earlier on. Hey, carries are pretty good. We didn't have one last game. Might be a smart choice to pick one this time around. It is going to be a Tempest pickup, though, as their first pick. Strong there, and then Pharaoh. So, actually starting off pretty strong here for Elborn side.
Yeah, Pharaoh, again, we've been seeing a lot more Pharaoh in there. There's the Swiftblade. So, yeah, maybe not so much trollish as just fun, I think, is a better word to describe that. The right-click on Hellbringer actually is that new skin, too.
I thought that was... Wow. I thought that was
Rhapsody?
Dampier of Rhapsody or something, yeah.
Yeah, the new skin. It actually even shows Malphus behind her. That's kind of funny.
That Malphus is... That doesn't even look like... That is crazy. Anyways, it's not going to be Hellbringer in the end, though. It is going to be Engineer, actually.
Yep.
Coming out for Pikachu. But yeah, Swiftblade, man. Swiftblade's a fun carry. I like playing him. He's a crazy spin. He's one of the best Bloodlust heroes in the game. You pair him with like a Glacius, obviously a lot of potential, and Thunderbringer. Now, Thunderbringer, we were actually talking yesterday. we saw him in a just, I think it might have been in-house or even a scrim, but Thunderbringer, you said he's a fun hero. He's a powerful hero, but his laning phase is very weak.
His laning phase is very weak, but he dishes out an immense amount of damage if he gets to that late game. And he is a late game hero, that's for sure. And they're going for apparently a huge global draft, but it's not really that global. But they go with Dr. Repulsor and Voodoo Jester as their final picks. The only problem here is Thunderbringer is going to really, I feel like, feed against the mass stuns, and especially Swiftblade. Swiftblade's so good against Thunderbringer. Obviously, Thunderbringer literally can't do anything with stand there and pummel auto attacks, but we all know Thunderbringer isn't really the DPS machine when it comes to right-click.
Yeah. That's that's an understatement. Not only that, but he has to get close enough. Only 350 range speed. But yes, they did go Nomad.
Oh, God.
Over here on Pikachu. So clearly a game where, again, we're going to have some fun here at the very least here in game number 2 between Pikachu and Will Smith, Best Rapper 2012 swag. So interested to see how this plays out, no doubt. I mean, we definitely got plenty to watch for, and also a little bit to talk about. I want to say, you know, it's kind of hard to sit here and try to be serious about actually analyzing and trying to guess exactly what they're going to do, you know, like our typical cast. So I think we can maybe approach this more in a fun sense. But are they okay? So we got Engineer and Hammerstorm heading top so far. We're going to run this tri-lane Swiftblade with Engineer Hammerstorm. Looks like that's what they're possibly going to do. More access mid and Nomad bottom. You know, your typical lanes here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nomad solo short against probably a Pharaoh. And actually, well, to be honest, Pharaoh actually should do pretty well in that lane. Should be quite even, actually. But Nomad, again, is just a hero in a real setting and in a very serious match. I can't take that hero seriously. It's just, it really has no place in the competitive scene whatsoever. But top lane, this should actually be very fun and aggressive. This double stun with the Swiftblade spinning is going to do a lot of damage, and it is going to be a it's going to be a Thunderbringer. They have the early ward of sight.
Ouch.
If they get the stun up,
he's dead. He's dead.
Dead.
He's hugging the tree, but even that, he's dead. I mean, here comes the Hammerstorm stun, and Thunderbringer's like, hey guys, I'm dead. Kekstun's going to hit, there's a spin, and hey guys, I'm dead. No friends. Ain't got no friends to help him at the top lane, unfortunately. So he goes down, Bloodlust kill. Coming out for a book right there. Playing that Swiftblade and goal per minute chart. Booyah! No, it's actually not going to jump up. I thought it would. It's still sitting at 0. Hey, guess that is. Maybe we have to wait for the games to start. Everyone has 0. I guess. So, do you have to wait for the game to start? I never even noticed that.
I don't think so.
Let's see. 3, 2, 1.
And booyah. Okay. 12,000 gold per minute.
Going down quickly. Anyways, yeah, Thunderbringer's screwed up here.
I don't think he can even walk to the lane.
He can't even go past the second tower.
I would suspect they don't even go to the lane. They're just going to wait for him.
They really are. That's so rude.
Oh, they're going to pull the creeps. Okay. So they're going to pull the creeps to the, maybe wrap around, continue. He's going to wait maybe for that camp to spawn. Or maybe not. So that, I don't know. It's going to give actually Thunderbringer one wave maybe of experience. So he's going to hit that level 2 and just own them all.
Yeah, Chain Lightning going to be awesome here for him. Yeah, so he's in a lot of trouble. Let's take a look at the other lanes. So Voodoo Jester, Dr. Repulsor against Mirax. On a more serious note, though, you were saying Dr. Repulsor, I agree. I mean, he seems like a hero that he's, of course, more of an intelligence carry type, but he's also a very aggressive ganker. He definitely has a great snowballing effect. You get him something like an early Null Stone, a good mana regen, and then even like a Shrunken Head to kind of just fly around, not be too worried. He can actually really catch you off guard and apply a lot of burst damage with constantly activating that ultimate over and over again. So
mid lane.
But yeah, speaking of the mid lane, they're in some trouble right here. Here comes Hammerstorm. There's a stun. The Acid Cocktail will come out as well, but will it be enough? There's a Quake. The Keks on top of that. Voodoo Jester is dropping quickly. The Curse of Ground going to be used, trying to maybe do a turnaround, but it's not going to happen. You see the electric turd laid down by Dr. Repulsor, but no one runs over it, so not a big deal. But middle lane gets ganked, and now Hammerstorm and Engineer are going all the way to the bottom, apparently. So they're going to go all 3 lanes here.
Roaming constantly. They must realize that Tempest is in the opposite woods. Stuns are up and ready to go onto this Tempest. They do get the stun up. There's the stun to follow from Engineered. Of course, they're not level 2. They're just going to have to try to pummel auto attacks in. It's going to be close. The level 1 stun coming out actually from Tempest. He might be fine unless Engineer pursues him with the keg.
2,
it might actually be in range. Here we go. Keg to stun, and it does hit him. So the juke attempt was not even there for Harry Shell.
Well, he tried. That's what counts. You got to give an A for effort, but Tempest, obviously, not even close to getting away right there. Nomad at the bottom lane, 8-1 against Pharaoh's 3-0. Nomad, the hero that has no place in the competitive scene, is doing fairly well here to start this game, actually. Probusk having a good time. You mentioned maybe Pharaoh might have a solid matchup chance here, but seems like Nomad is taking the best of it. And also, because of the roam that happened, Swiftblade is obviously going 1 versus 1 this Thunderbringer now. Of course, Swiftblade had a great start because of that bloodless kill right off the bat, so I'm sure that's helping. But the Thunderbringer, you'd hope for his sake, maybe able to get some creep kills here and there. He is 8-0. I mean, he's spamming that Chain Lightning right now with his 1-1-1 build, which is the pretty standard build, of course. But
yeah. Nomad, I mean, I think Pharaoh, Nomad does have very good attack animation. I'll give him that. But so does Pharaoh. And Pharaoh also, actually, no, Pharaoh yet again doesn't have a hatchet. I think that's the problem here is he's not starting with a hatchet. And when you know, of course, he doesn't know for sure who he's going to be going up against.
Especially against this lineup, yeah.
Yeah, but I still think going a hatchet in this lane, you could safely say with an aggressive lineup like Hammerstorm and Engineer, usually you see a solo bottom in that case, so
yeah.
hatchet would have been a smart decision. He actually pulled himself some more regen, so going the more regen route. And actually, Nomad is running low on regen himself, but in fact he's all out. He does have a mana battery there, and it's only 4 charge. Actually, no, he did deliver himself some regen. So he counted that just a little bit. So his lane is a little bit even. No, actually, Nomad's winning it quite well. But let's look at some other lanes. Top lane, Thunderbringer, as you mentioned, can't really get anything jump started. He actually spammed quite a bit as 11 CS, but he's going to constantly be pressured by the stun capability from Engineer and Hammerstorm.
Yeah, if he gets caught in that spin, I mean, he's 100% dead. So he's forced to really play passive here. And Swiftblade going for kind of a curious build himself. I mean, he has a live too to bring a teacher, so no boots even early on. But he is more than fine with just farming in that middle lane, in the top lane. Middle lane, Moraxis, a little bit of pressure, going to be fine. But Tempest come over. But now you got Hammerstorm and Engineer maybe looking to set up a turnaround here in the middle lane if they're able to get the correct hero. Of course, Dr. Pulsar not level 6 yet, so he's not going to be flying around. Voodoo Jester, the one maybe in trouble. They want to go for Doctor, though. A nice acid cocktail. And their greed got the best of them. If they went for Voodoo Jester, that was a sure kill. Yep. They wanted Doctor, but good job by Voodoo Jester, though.
Yeah, he shouldn't have tunnel vision that hard. Just a free kill on the Voodoo. Dr. Repulsor was just too far away. But nonetheless, as you mentioned, good job by your boy Harry, Breaky. Your boy Harry making plays.
My boy Harry coming through.
Bottom lane is just getting wrecked by this Nomad as far as CS goes.
Swiftblade's level 6. He's chasing Thunderbringer. And here comes Engineer. The kickstun will not hit, so it doesn't matter. But, yeah, Nomad is having a very good time down here. Now, he's actually dropping a little bit of life. The Hellfire doing some good damage, but you see Mana Battery's going to be used. And actually, there's the, whatever it's called, the edge counter, but Pharaoh will take him out, so how about that? Pharaoh gets the kill. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Thunderbringer does get killed. Can't be too shocked about that. Middle lane, though, actually, Moraxis is dropping, and Moraxis is very likely going to fall. The Curse of the Ground is up one more tick. Nope, yep. Oh, it's down and up, but he still has another tick to go. Yeah, he is dead right here. He goes back in, realizing it. Well, our Hellborn team, they get a couple of kills right there. Still a 4-2 hero kill advantage, though. Actually winning the experience, but I think you got to attribute a little bit of that to the jungling. But nonetheless, the gold lead is still there for the Hellborn side. And yeah, like as I mentioned, you can see out CS as a Nomad against a lot of different heroes. And Pharaoh, of course, didn't get that hatchet. I think that's the biggest reason why his CS is so low. Legion does get a tower over the top lane. Look at Nomad just destroying these elementals, just totally zoning in on them, getting lots of CS. Of course, we have been told, as we mentioned yesterday, that it does not count towards your CS score. Yeah.
So it actually should be maybe something like, I don't know, 35 or so, 34. But yeah, the no hatch on Pharaoh. I mean, you can still see Pharaoh does do well against melees, specifically this Nomad. Just doesn't have the CS, unfortunately, because of that missing hatchet. Yeah. How about Swiftblade, though? He is farming 512 gold per minute. He did get his little red booties. He picked up a Mystic Vestment on top of them. And he says, Nomad, I'm going to go in and take over the lane, buddy. He comes to the bottom lane, obviously with the top tower push, and needs somewhere else to farm. So may just even try to compete for it. It's actually Nomad gets the last hit right there. They're fighting. But at the top lane, yeah, we see Thunderbringer getting caught by Hammerstorm and Engineer. Maybe Thunderbringer thought he'd be fine as he saw Swiftblade at the bottom lane, but Engineer and Hammerstorm hanging around still set up the kill. So Thunderbringer still level 4. He is doing absolutely nothing really at the top lane as you would expect because of the circumstance. So great news again there for Pikachu. Spin at the bottom lane on top of Pharaoh. Actually, Swiftblade going forward, not going to be a kill, as he'll fall back to keep farming. But actually, Nier is in some trouble. Oh, talk about powerful rune hero combinations. It is taken off right there by the turret, but Dr. Repulsor did have a regen rune activated on him.
chasing down Engineer right there. Helps set up the kill. He's going to go for kind of kill on Miraxis as well as Voodoo Jester taking some pressure, but the dive big time, and there's the explosion. And down goes Voodoo Jester. So, but yeah, regen rune on Dr. Repulsor, that can be deadly.
Yep. And so can a Cthulhu ulti in the face of a support, which did happen. Only gets credit for the kill. Of course, Probusk assisting with that gank.
Did you say Cthulhu font?
Did I?
You did. There ain't no elephant in this game, that's for sure. I think he meant more axes.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm just a moron then.
They don't want to
Tulafon here farming in the mid lane as he looks to go to the bottom lane. No, Nomad here is trying to pursue as the stun comes out onto Pharaoh. A couple auto attacks there. The axes are actually hitting there, and Pharaoh does use the ultimate. Hits 3 people in that little small area. Owned Me gets credit for the kill.
Yeah, he just was in an awkward spot right there, and obviously the collapse happened and got taken out. Swiftblade just continuing to farm here. And in fact, he's going in between the 2 towers. He's just going to tank the next creep wave while the tower actually gets hit by its own creep wave, so he's just going to spin on top of it. He did get in tower range, so a little bit unfortunate there, but hey, cleans up the creep wave, and this tower is going to start dropping, the first one that is. So his farm, man, again, continuing to be impressive. Obviously, that Bloodlust kill really skyrocketed it initially, but he has been keeping it up. So Swiftblade getting dangerous. He does with the early sustainer. He's in a little bit of trouble here. Out comes a Curse of Grant on top of the Escalating cocktail, but Voodoo Jester quickly runs around, knowing that he had Swift Slashes. Didn't want to run into that. We do have a vote to pause. There's going to be the Swift Slashes. Not nearly enough damage for a kill. Will the spin make it enough? Oh my god, this is going to be close. I think he's going to get the kill, unless... Ooh, he does have a power supply. Oh, this is going to be close. Really close here.
Too close for my liking. But the power supply actually might save him just a little bit. A lot of times you'll just walk in there as much as you can for that kill, and then the power supply at the last second makes you walk away. So you're like, oh crap, I should have known. And we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Pause is always fun during times like this. As he says, all right.
Yeah, if you... Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah,
well, how much time is left on that cursed ground? One more tick? Yeah, it looks like one more tick.
He's dead, though. I mean, Dr. Pulcher's level 6. He'll just easily chase him down and pick him off. So he knows he's 100% dead, really. He's trying to work a deal. I mean, they say deal, but I don't think, yeah. As TPS Prices says right there. I don't think that deal is going to be kept. Book is very likely going to die. It's just a question, will he get Lock Shadow with him in the end? I bet my kangaroos on it. Talking about keeping the stereotype. Moraxis and Nomad, they're hitting over. Now, Moraxis actually does have a haste rune, so they need to be a little bit careful about that.
He goes, I can't trust, can't speak for Thunderbringer, and Thunderbringer's like, I don't even have my ulti. All right?
He's level 5. Is he getting close to 6? He might be getting close to 6 here. I don't know if he just hit it, but yeah, of course, Thunderbringer, that's what helps make him a powerful hero, his ultimate. And, you know, in a more serious game, if we were to see a Thunderbringer, if you go into initiating into a team fight with a Thunderbringer ultimate is huge. I mean, it's just because right off the bat, all of a sudden, you know, a good chunk of life is missing from every single hero on the opposition. And that could definitely play a big role. But we see Swiftblade. Oh, he doesn't keep the promise. He continued to go. He kills Pharaoh. But, oh my god, is he actually going to live? Wow, they actually... they ran away. That's pretty hilarious.
Oh, Thunderbringer! GGG.
Thunderbringer gets level 6. He dies right after, though, to Hammerstorm and Engineer.
Well played, sir. Well played, no friends.
Indeed.
That was fun to watch. Bad-mannered Boo.
Yes.
Getting that kill. Said he would back away, but he did not. He said you touched Pharaoh.
You touched Pharaoh. Rude guy. Well,
anyway, yeah, let's look at some things here. It's not over. It's not out of their hands completely, but there is a significant lead coming out for Team Pika. 5,300 gold, 3,000 experience. Ghost March is picked up on both Nomad and Swiftblade. Swiftblade wants to pick that up for a little bit more mobility before he goes for that Rune Cleaver. Of course, he has that investments to mitigate a lot of magic damage coming out from the Hellborn side. Arguably did save his life there before ultimately the TB ult came out.
Yeah, that was fun right there with Thunderbringer. Because, of course, his ultimate, another minute remaining on that's a 2-minute cooldown. Actually, at all 3 levels. Interesting there. So he'll be able to use that again in another minute. But, yeah, in a more serious game, that could actually be a very effective tool, you know, initiating into team fights, like I was saying. And not only that, but it also will deactivate Null Stones if they happen to have any. So it does work on that. So, and Nomad is coming to the top lane here, looking to perhaps do something by himself right now. Maybe he'll get support in the near future, but right now he is by himself. There is Thunderbringer, but it also does have a Pharaoh nearby. He's going to go into the lane, though, and it looks like he'll just continue to farm himself. So getting a little bit crafty. You see Thunderbringer running up, going to throw out a blast of lightning, then quickly fall back. Out from the backside, Hammerstorm counter-warding. He's right next to several heroes, though. In fact, Pharaoh's going to jump in. There is Tempest as well with the assistance. Hammerstorm going to put a stun out, and actually, is he actually going to get away, really? Dr. Repulsor comes flying in. The final auto attack will finish him off. So Jabba Wabba playing the Dr. Repulsor picks up the kill. The Legion team tried to get over there, but they just went the bad way, and Hammerstorm does fall, so unfortunate. I wonder what Swiftblade's going for, by the way. Do you think Nullstone or Rune Cleaver?
Well, I think in a serious game it should be Rune Cleaver at this point. Nullstone obviously would be effective against Doctor, even mitigating that ultimate from the Thunderbringer to save you a lot of damage. But I think a Rune Cleaver is probably the most acceptable choice here for Swiftblade, probably the most standard as well. One of the things about Swiftblade is why we don't see him so much is trying to find a good ratio to use your spin and then use auto attacks. Obviously, you cannot auto attack. You can maybe once, but it's very slow, and you can't crit out of it through that spin. And that's part of the reason why it's kind of awkward playing him in the late game stage, because you obviously want to use that spin to mitigate a lot of spells and whatnot, but you want to use your auto attacks with the items you get for the largest damage potential.
It's not like a Stonehide with Predator where he just activates it and he gets to still rape face with his abilities. Whereas Swiftblade, it's definitely a give or take in that
double-edged sword, really.
Yeah, double-edged sword. That's Meraxes diving the bottom lane. He even activates his ultimate right there. I don't know if he expected to get jumped, but they easily take out the tower, so good for him. Speaking of Swiftblade, it does have 1,300 gold. So coming in the middle lane right here. Dr. Repulsor, though, the one here as well as all these minions, so not really in a big worrisome spot. Hammerstorm nearby, but again, not really going to jump anyone. Nomad at the top lane. He's continuing to farm. That's a lot of damage coming out for Thunderbringer, though. That shows you the power of Thunderbringer. You know, he starts adding up in the levels. And that blast of lightning will hit you very hard. Meanwhile, they collapse on an engineer between Pharaoh and Dr. Repulsor. Good job. But the Swift Slashes come out. The spin on top of that, and down goes the Tempest. Ultimate is holding Swiftblade in place. Nomad joins the party. But actually, Tempest now realizing he's in a lot of trouble. The chase is on. Voodoo Jester Acid Cocktail will stop that, though. Hammerstorm, nope. He tried to stun, but it got pulled back, and it is done. So, interesting series of events right there.
Yeah, the ultimate over the cliff, actually, from Tempest during the Swiftblade spin right there was kind of interesting, but nonetheless, Pharaoh actually, I don't know if he really walked back in, but he was just still in the vicinity of that. And actually, he goes for an Energizer now on the Swiftblade before making something happen with that Sustainer. So, kind of an interesting pickup. I do love Energizer.
You can use your abilities while you're spinning.
Yes.
Your item. So, yeah, maybe that's some logic there. With the Ghost Marches, I don't know, but it is a fun item as well.
It is, yeah, it's a good item. Yeah. But Swiftblade, one of the things I actually think would be cool to add to him is I heard this suggestion a long time ago was giving yourself the choice to cancel your spin whenever you want to. So you start spinning, you press Q again or something else, and you have that choice to cancel it when you want to. So say you're spinning on someone's porting out because they know, oh, you can't use the Swift Slashes and stop that. Well, nope, press Q again and stop it. Just a suggestion I had. I thought it was a good idea.
That is interesting. I mean, but it does buff the ability significantly at the same time.
Well, sure, but arguably Swiftblade doesn't really find a place in the competitive scene right now, and I think something needs to be something needs to happen.
True. Yes, you do bring up a valid point there. But yeah, that would be interesting where you could actually just use it as like a mini shrunken head, like a disjoint even. You see something coming, you just quickly spam your Q, and you're back to fighting. That is a nifty idea. You brought it up to Doc Kaiser?
No, most of my ideas unfortunately get shot down.
A lot of ideas do, let's be honest, but that's how the process works. You can't just let in everything, unfortunately. But we see more access. He's snapping the last kill there in the middle lane on that creep and then walking towards top. Dr. Repulsor, I mean, how's his farm coming along? He's got some early regen. He does have a Mighty Blade, so just like he did on Fade. Very likely going to be going for a first item Shrunken Head on Dr. Repulsor. Again, Dr. Repulsor is an interesting hero. That's not a bad item, but it does require a good amount of mana regeneration as well as mana in general. Mainly because of that ultimate, so I find it curious as to why he's doing the Shrunken Head option.
I think Shrunken Head is a great option. You do think a lot of times, like, oh, you're definitely going to do that, man. They actually initiate it onto a Meraxes, but it's just the illusion. They use a lot of spells right there. But Yeah, you would think like you need that extra mana. In fact, he has a very low mana pool, but that Shrunken Head on Doctor is actually a very smart pickup, so you can just run in there, jump in there, and not fear all the stuns and whatnot, especially when Engineer has his ultimate, and Shrunken Head's very good against that.
Yeah. True, true, true. 0-5, in fact, they're going to jump on Engineer right here. He will get the energy field off. There's a Thunderbringer ultimate coming out. Ports are coming in. Moraxis charging up at the front lines. Look at Swiftblade. He has a level 2 ultimate ready to go. The Swift Slash is cutting them up. Slicing and dicing, you could say. Down goes Tempest. The spin from Swiftblade. He's going to join the party as they are chasing down Thunderbringer. Look at the uphill Voodoo Jester ultimate, but he now realizing he needs to run if he wants to survive with Dr. Repulsor. Doctor just going to try to protect him a little bit. The tower, of course, still here. Is Nomad going to go around the backside? He's working on an Assassin Trap, by the way. He's going to run into Voodoo Jester. He does have his ultimate to use the edge counter. There we go. The stun will go off. Dr. Repulsor takes it, but actually now Nomad's in a little bit of trouble. Dr. Repulsor chasing the Electric Turret goes down. Will it be enough to find a lot of tech? He's in Viz currently because of the Storm Cloud. Darude style. He picks up the Haste Rune, and he will be fine. Voodoo Jester does eventually fall. And, well, that's that fight.
Oh, sorry about that. I was muted. Yeah, Swiftblade, the Energizer, is proven to be pretty effective. I mean, look at his farm. He's got almost 500 gold per minute. His Swift Flashes do a lot of damage. I just love the buff to an Energizer. There's a stomp immediate on the Pharaoh that just TP'd in. He applies that Hellfire. The stun does hit. There's actually the ultimate from Tempest. The spin is still going on. But I don't know how effective this ulti is going to be. Swift is just pounding in auto attacks. There's the blink in yet again from Miraxis. Initiation onto Thunderbringer, and he just melts, as the Iori would say, like a, what does he say? Like butter to a warm knife, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, Book is on a legendary double tap streak. The Legion Tower in the mid goes down, and Miraxis is going to go back home safely to regen all that mana so he can do it once again.
Because why not?
Why not?
Why not, they say. Swiftblade has 3,200 gold saved up. That's a lot of gold, saving up something big. Assassin Shroud is finished on Nomad, so it's going to be delivered here. He's farming 350 gold per minute himself. See, Energizer going to be used to get the hell out of there as the tower was taking a little bit of damage. So, Thunderbringer, he has an ultimate coming up in 4 seconds. Swiftblade is fairly low, but it's not going to be enough. Will he even use it, thinking that he might get a kill? No, he will not. He's smart, because, yeah, it definitely wouldn't be, especially with the Mystic Vestments. He would be more than fine. And it is only level 1 ultimate. Engineer is going to get caught here. Engineer is still going to stay alive, though. What a turnaround. He went back in, though, for whatever reason. And he actually, I think, even ran into a Hellfire. Stun. By Pharaoh right there, so he ends up falling. Voodoo Jester, Dr. Repulsor, and Tempest are all here. Voodoo Jester dropping, Nomad running in, but Dr. Repulsor pulls him in. He ends up dying. Voodoo Jester will fall, but that was a little bit funny. And now Moraxis, though, is on the run. Does he have a portal key? Yes, he does, so he can portal key out safely if he gets jumped right here, which is not going to happen, apparently.
He wants to man up.
Well,
he wants to man up. He's quite tanky, actually. There's the Thunderbringer ulti coming out.
Not for kills.
Doctor has complete full mana. Oh, there, good W there, mitigating a little bit of CC there, but Dr. Repulsor, just too much mana. He's going to slow him there with his third ability. One more auto attack. Oh, no, good power supply, but Thunderbringer's there to take out Onmi's legendary streak for 410 gold.
Yeah, that was fun. Of course, that Arcane Shield, it not only negates the ability, but it also increases his movement speed. But the slow there from Dr. Repulsor was just a little bit too much to chase him down. So good news coming out there for our Hellborn team, but the bad news is you look at the overall team stats and not looking good for them right now. Look at Swiftblade, how fast he is. A Haste Rune, basically, running the top lane, and he just destroys Tempest right there with his ultimate. His Ghost Marcher's on top of the Energizer. Yeah.
And the Storm Spirit gives you, I think, plus 10 movement speed as well.
Oh, he has a Storm Spirit, that's why, yeah. He's so fast.
It's actually plus 25 movement speed, wow.
Yeah.
So he's got 25 movement speed from that. His Ghost Marchers obviously give him 12% movement speed bonus. The static plus 10 movement speed from Energizer, you apply them both.
75.
He's got haste, basically.
Yeah, he was 522 right there, no doubt. So
459 when he activates the Ghost Marchers.
Alone, yeah. So without the Ghost, yeah, he's 410 base. That is really fast. Yeah, so he's going to be able to chase you down now, as we saw right there at the top lane. Nomad, speaking of chasing down this Voodoo Jester. But Voodoo Jester playing crafty. It's going to be fine for now. The Assassin Shroud going to be coming up in 4 seconds. They want to scout him out first, though. They're going to find him. The Assassin Shroud in 1 second. He's going to use it right there. And he'll be fine. Will he try to go for a ninja kill? He does have an Assassin Shroud. Come on. No, he's going to fall back, so. Oh, Pharaoh's spotting him there at the last second, but there's the Storm Cloud, or excuse me, not Storm Cloud, Sandstorm. No, don't do that. Pharaoh is always going to catch Nomad right here. Here comes the support as well, but there is some people here for Pikachu. Hammerstorm getting locked down. The energy field is up in the background. Pharaoh dropping quickly. Will be fine, though, in the end. They got a pick on a Hammerstorm, so again, worked out fairly well right there for our Legion or Hellborn team.
In the meantime, 3 ports coming out top, using that engine energizer, and actually uses the Storm Spirit onto. Oh, there's the ultimate coming up from Thunderbringer, giving him some vision as well as some damage. Just not enough mana to get there in time. Dr. Pulsar not able to catch the very, very fast movement speed of Swiftblade. What a funny Storm Spirit pick.
I know, you wouldn't think Swiftblade in activating a Storm Spirit on somebody, but Moraxis jumps into the background. Nomad charging in. He does have his edge counter. Will he use it? Will it work? No, it does not. He goes down. And actually, Moraxis now in a little bit of trouble. He's got an Energizer himself, by the way. So a couple of Energizers now on this Legion team. Swiftblade thought about going back in. He does have his ultimate. He's only level 15 still, though. So 1 level away from more Swift Slashes. And will he use it right here? He's going to jump in. Are we going to see Swift Slashes? Yes, we are. They bounce back and forth. It's almost going to kill Doctor. Yes, it will kill Dr. Repulsor. And Pharaoh will get cut down as well. It's credit for the kill right there. What you going to do about it?
He's got another 3K gold saved up. It's funny because he doesn't really have farming items on Swift.
Yeah.
It's like he's getting one piece of everything. Now he has a Firebrand. He just has that sustainer sitting there. Yeah, exactly. He's 10, 1, and 3. But 550 GPM. Again, yeah, I think he's just getting one of every item. Firebrand. He's going the movement speed route.
He is, yeah. That's obviously the Firebrand, the Storm Spirit, the Energizer. He is going to have a base movement speed of quite a bit of haste. Could you imagine? At this rate, it's actually possible when you think of it. If he gets another Storm Spirit, why the hell not? He has, okay, those are Ghost Monsters. I was going to say at 500, but he has 451 movement speed now.
Base, or without anything activated. Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. How many bounces does he do now? 8 times with level 3 ultimate. So
500 movement speed with Ghost Monsters activated, so looking pretty fast now. He is Swift. I'll say he's Swift.
Oh my god, you finally connected it. Engineer's going to get jumped right here. He does get the energy field off the Storm Spirit at the last second. He will fall. But what will happen when it's all said and done? Pharaoh gets absolutely destroyed. It's no Swift Slashes from Swiftblade. You see Moraxis gets caught out, so actually the Hellborn team holding it off pretty well right there. Dr. Pulsar going in, trying to maybe catch Nomad, but Nomad's, of course, invisible, and he'll be fine. You do see Hammerstorm going to go back in. Swiftblade wants to go back in as well. Moraxis buys back Dr. Pulsar, but the Tempest ultimate pulling them, and they were not ready for that. And Swiftblade will fall when it's all said and done. Moraxis, he too is in a lot of trouble, actually. Yeah, the ultimate activated, wearing off right there. Looks like he will be fine in the end, but Pikachu getting a little bit too cocky. Pays off there for a Hellborn team.
Buyout from Swift, of course.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting game right now. Now, Breaky, what does Will Smith Best Rapper 2012 swag have to do to get back into this game?
Well, Thunderbringer needs to hit level 16 first. He needs to buy a Restoration Stone, and he needs to sit in the well and get ready to double ulti when the team jumps in is basically what they need to do. So that is the key to success right there.
I agree.
They also need a Restoration Stone on Dr. Repulsor because that would make sense.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Right now, Pikachu is in a very good lead. Again, going into this game, as I said, even in the in-between games, you just feel like it was a chance that we could have more of a fun style of game here in Game 2. And we no doubt got that with the hero picks. And clearly, Pikachu, again, right now, is just the better team, honestly. They have more of the experience. They just seem to be the better team in the series. And on their way to clinching that third and final spot here in Group B. So that's, of course, going to be big for them when that eventually happens. To see Voodoo Jester taking out Engineer at the bottom lane, but Hammerstorm will get some revenge. Good job stunning the creep just in range to also hit Voodoo Jester right there.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Hammerstorm gets a kill. Your boy Harry actually still making some big plays.
My boy Harry.
Yep. He does have dust on him, and he's actually going the triple circlet route, or Pretender's Crown.
Oh, of course.
Of course. So looking towards that actually Energizer pickup, as he needs to make a couple more things to get that and a little bit more gold, but he'll have that soon enough, and they'll be able to turn some fights, I'm sure. Shrunken Head is up on the Dr. Pulsar, of course. Let's see what durations actually. How many times has he used it? He's actually not used it at all, so it's going to have the full 10 seconds, so that's good for them.
Yeah.
But, of course, the physical damage from Swift Slashes is going to mitigate that. But the jumping around from Dr. Repulsor is certainly a good tool against Swiftblade.
Yeah, that can really throw him off guard for sure. So, are they going to push this tower is the question. It doesn't look like they're going to push it at least just yet. They kind of want they want their better items. Understandable. They need another movement speed item on on Swiftblade before they're confident. So, yes, 1,300 gold saved up right now. We'll see what he eventually goes for. Farming 520 overall GPN here in this game. How is Thunderbringer doing, by the way? Speaking of him, he's got the tablet. He's level 10, so he's almost got the level 2 ultimate called the Lightning Storm. Never really realized what that was even called. It's been around forever, but Lightning Storm ability. Be level 2 here in the near future. Dr. Pulsar wants to go in. That he will work. Great job by Pharaoh as well. On top of that, they do get the initial pick. Tempest is running in. Mirax is tanking a lot of the damage, activates that Arcane Shield. Nothing is absorbed, though. He's trying to just run away with the Energizer. Here comes the Engineer with the Energy Field. And now Swiftblade joining the party. He does have Swift Slash. He's going to Swift Slash out to the side. He just drops Voodoo Jester right there. No chance of surviving. Dr. Pulsar now getting spun on. Mirax, did he even die or buy back? No, I don't think he died. He comes back and they take out Thunderbringer. Dr. Pulsar. The Tempest ultimate, actually. Do they have enough follow-up? Dr. Pulsar gets 1 kill. Will he get a 2nd kill? Yes, he will. Tempest will fall, and now the damage in return. Dr. Pulsar goes down. Beautiful Tempest ultimate, unfortunately. Too much in return.
They're making the best of a bad situation, but I think Mirax has got out there just by the skin of his teeth, or maybe he did buy out. He does have 1 buyout only. But nonetheless, he found a regen rune, so came back in. There actually are I always want to call them carrots, but they're just candy corn up there.
Bananas. Oh, candy corn.
Candy corn up top, so if the haste rune can be bottled yet again from Miraxis after using that regen rune. But yeah, great place Tempest ultimate. Just not enough heroes there to follow up to kill everybody. Ultimately, the auto attack damage from Swiftblade is just too overwhelming at this point.
He has 2,800 gold. Wondering again still what he is going to be going for. Perhaps a Geometer's Bane. I could actually see that. As might as well make that a Firebrand into one of those bad boys. We'll see if that happens. Nomad here at the top lane is just, well, he's going to go into the jungle action and continue to farm. Nomad really hasn't had this huge impact. I was kind of looking forward to him maybe snowballing a little bit and being a crazy hero, but yeah, he really hasn't taken out bad crazy. He's been farming pretty solid to a GPM right now. Has that Assassin Shroud, has another, well, 700 gold saved up. Somebody bought a Nullstone, I think. Okay, that was Swiftblade. So Swiftblade does finally purchase his next item. And indeed, it is a Nullstone, actually. So
yay, he made something with a Sustainer.
Yay. That's good. It's always smart to do. Top lane, Dr. Pulsar in some trouble. Speaking of Nomad coming in right here, he opens with a 548 crit. That's a damage. And look at that. The damage just a little bit too much. Falls before he can even press that R button.
Yep. And the R button does have a little bit of delay on it, too. So good gank right there. Much needed if they actually do want to push into the base. I know it's difficult being up 20k and all, but Miraxis does come in with the ultimate and the blink. The Cursed Ground does hit him. So a well-placed Cursed Ground by Voodoo Jester. Your boy Harry making plays yet again. Miraxis does have actually his entire mana pool depleted right there, and Swiftblade doing too much damage. The ultimate from Engineer does get placed. It does actually purge Pharaoh. The Hellfire is actually ticking him down a little bit. A Book is on an ultimate warrior double tap. Harry Shell gets a kill onto Nier right there. The Engineer does fall. Swiftblade, or no, actually that's Nomad, trying to find a kill but not able to find anything else. So another team fight won there for Team Pika.
Yeah, there was like 3 different fights going on right there. That was pretty interesting. But again, in the end, Pikachu coming out on top. And as you said, going into that fight, 20,000 plus golden experience lead here in Pikachu's favor, so it is just getting overwhelming. Although Thunderbringer is level 11, so they got a level 2 Thunderstorm to use, or Lightning Storm to use. That's good amount of global damage there. Of course, the Nullstone will deactivate that, as I said earlier, from a Swiftblade at the same time. Tower being pushed bottom by Nomad. Not going to get too far, though, as there is support coming in, and actually Nomad's in a lot of trouble here. Nomad, the edge counter, ain't going to matter. He falls. And Swiftblade is cleaning up the Ancients in the meantime. But yeah, he needs to think about getting out there. He doesn't have a Rune Cleaver, so not going down too fast. So he'll just run away before he eventually gets jumped. So again, a case of kind of resetting things now here for Pikachu. Buying some bigger and better items, and then perhaps going to be going back in. Hammerstorm has a Quick Blade, by the way. Not a usual item you see on him. Maybe Brutalizer. That's a possibility for him, but obviously, exactly.
Could be a Staff of the Master as well.
Could be a Staff of the freaking Master. Miraxis jumping in here at the bottom lane. It is a solo Pharaoh, granted he does have all these elementals here from Tempest, and Tempest is going to block him on top of the Mummy Wall. And so Miraxis is not going to get any kills, but intrigued to see what that Quick Blade turns into.
Yep. I am too. But it's going to add him some much-needed armor and the attack speed as well from that agility boost. He also has the Hatchet from Probusk, so using that grayed out Hatchet for absolutely nothing.
But hey, he had an item slot, so why the hell not?
Exactly. Swiftblade maybe looking for some blood down here in the bottom lane. This tower does have very little HP, so maybe going to look to push that. The response coming out from Hellborn, they're just kind of sitting in mid, as well as this Nomad, who does have that Shroud still. Engineer here, he does has a push book as well, so it's a little bit of initiation. Not as good as a portal key, but it's still there. Bottom lane tower, it will fall, and yeah, it does go down. Book gets credit for the tower kill.
What's now? 568 gold per minute, it looks like. 2,500 gold saved up, so again, now once again interested to see what he goes for after purchasing that Nullstone. Seems like our Will Smith team, they are trying pretty hard here to try to get something. I mean, they've had some solid fights, getting some decent Tempest ultimates and waiting for the right pick chances. So it's not like they're just trolling and throwing themselves into this game, but Pikachu just playing it too well, despite having some very unique heroes here on their side. And we do have a possible initiation here in the middle lane. In fact, there we go. Pharaoh's going to start the party on a Swiftblade, but oh my god, Swiftblade just tears up Pharaoh a new one. Tempest Ultimate is activated. They will go off. Thunderbringer goes off as well. You see the Storm Sphere deactivating that, though. Dr. Repulsor getting the hell out of there. Look at Swiftblade, just so much damage coming out. Two players are dead. As was there a buyback? No, there was not, but now this tower is also going to fall. Of course, it's a double damage rune on Swiftblade. That did not help things either.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering why she was hitting so hard. I was just like, whoa, I guess Swift is a really strong carry, but no, he had a double damage rune. And, of course, when you're up 24k, it makes you feel like the hero is much stronger than it really is. But, nonetheless, Tempest actually, I got to give him credit because he's actually getting some really good ultimates, despite the massive deficit that they're in. Could just be that, you know, Pika's playing a little bit careless because they are up so much. But, nonetheless, he's been getting some decent ultimates.
Yes, he definitely has been, so Harry Shell deserves the credit for that. Conga, I keep thinking they're going to maybe go to a Conga attempt, but actually not doing that, at least just yet. Just going to continue to farm even more, because as we always keep going back to, why the hell not? Swiftblade did buy something. I want to know what he bought. It's actually being delivered, maybe? Oh my god, my mouse just freaked out. Oh, an Ice Brand. Okay, so he's going to finish a Frostburn here. So no more stacking that movement speed. Feels like he has enough at this point.
Yep.
At 467, that is quite a bit. 517 when he activates Ghost Marcher, so basically haste speed when he even activates the Ghost Marchers. That is crazy. He also has 2,300 life on top of that. And he's hitting pretty hard. Not crazy hard, but you got to factor in, of course, his crit ability with the Way of the Sword. And that does add on top of that. He still only has the one level in the counterattack, by the way.
Yep.
So he's been maxing out his stats here.
Well, I think that's part of one of the other reasons why Swiftblade isn't really picked up that much. I don't think people actually initiation in the mid lane. Pharaoh does get a hook onto, but a good push book there by Engineer. Trying to get that ultimate off, but no, there are 3 mines right there. Good stun coming out. The Invis Miraxis. Actually, there's the pull coming on the Swiftblade. If they're able to burst him down, no, the ultimate, the Swift Flash is doing so much damage. And actually, ultimately does hit the creeps there. Trying to pursue this Tempest, he does go down. The Cursed Ground is on somebody, I think. Oh, no, it was not. Robust gets a kill. There's the ultimate yet again. From TB. Malabrook is just doing so much damage. Ultimately gets a double tap dominating streak coming out for him. He is 19 and 2 and 8. Only trying to look for blood, but he's not going to find it as Thunderbringer and Dr. Repulsor are going to be walking back to base, the only 2 alive on this Hellborn team.
Yeah, I thought Engineer, I was watching the part where he's trying to drag them into his mines, but of course he didn't even get there. But in the background, as you said, Moraxis and Swiftblade, they were looking to go in, but they got counter chopped, so it seemed like that actually the Hellborn team had a chance right there to really catch Pikachu off guard. But when you're down by this much golden experience, you know, it's just not surprising to see big leads right there in a team fight just completely get turned around as we saw. So Pikachu just holding their own, able to fight it off, and able to now go back and continue to farm on top of that. 3,800 more gold saved up on Swiftblade here. Firebrand purchased actually by Hammerstorm, so it doesn't turn into anything too crazy. Just simply a Firebrand, but yeah, that still is a little bit odd, but hey, he is allowed to do what he wants. Moraxis has a double damage rune activated down here. Not going to really find anything though. Nomad picking up a Blessed Orb, and 4,300 gold now sitting on Swiftblade. He's back at base. Is he trying to split up the Frostburn? I think he is. Wonder if he even knows how. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, he's still trying. There you go, buddy. Okay, there you go. So he has a Frosto Skull and now a Firebrand as well. He's 2,800 life. Yeah, quite tanky.
And actually, Hammerstorm with the Striders activating the Firebrand has 495 movement speed.
Oh, middle lane, but actually Meraxis responds right there, but no one there to follow him up. So yeah, that was a case of actually Nomad getting caught. Being played by Probusk. Good job there by WSBR. But yeah, you talked about the Firebrand on Hammerstorm. How much armor does he have? 9.78 currently. Swiftblade is a beast, though, right now. He's level 23 on top of that. He's starting to... No, he has to start leveling the counterattack now, doesn't he? Is he just, like, not leveling it up? He's level 23, and it's still level 1. So he's maxed out in stats and everything else. He has a point available, but he's just not choosing... Okay, there we go. Now it's level 2. I was going to say, that's just silly.
Yeah, I was talking about the counterattack thing. It's just kind of regarded in the competitive community, for me at least. It's not really anyone's talked about it, but I bet they're thinking it. They're like, okay, this ability just kind of sucks. Like, it's not really that effective. Yes, we have seen it do a little bit of damage in the late game to carries that hit him, but really, so many carries, especially melee carries, get lifesteal, and it just really doesn't affect them that much. So
it's a very ghetto version of a barbed armor. You see right there, he just tears up Pharaoh, but... Yeah, it's a really, really, really weak and unreliable version of a barbed armor, is the way I like to put it. So,
yeah.
Good pick off onto Farrell, though, and now with a numbers advantage, they'll gladly look to go in our here. Voodoo Jester is going to make his way back. He was trying to hide right there. He's going to run past toward a sight, though, and you see Meraxis and Hammerstorm turning around. They're going to try to catch him. Will Voodoo Jester get away? No, he will not. He gets the acid cocktail off, though, but now he gets pushed into the team, and he just gets torn a new one. And now 2 players are dead. So finally, we're going to see Pikachu starting to break into the base a little bit, perhaps. As Dr. Repulse just says, screw it, we're going balls to the wall. He jumps in. Thunderbringer Ultimate already activated as Swiftblade just sitting there with the spin. Does not have a Swift Slash in the course. Tempest gets picked off. Thunderbringer is now going to drop as well. The crits are just too much. And here we go. The tower is starting to fall.
Tower is starting to fall. I imagine, though, there might be some well diving, unfortunately, as we saw in this last
not over
game.
just yet.
But right now, at least, they're all business as far as attacking that tower. And there's the Pharaoh hook. And the initiation there. Looking over the
it's a
screen.
turnaround.
And a big turnaround. No, Pharaoh just gets annihilated there. Jabba dies as well. Bloodbath coming out from Book. And a big massacre. The Hellborn is a genocide. We're taking these bottom racks. Yet again, we're seeing a 36. And there's the GG well, please. The JJs come out.
The JJs.
As Team Pikachu does take the series 2 games to nothing and really clinching them. I believe they actually are clinched for that top 3 spot in Group B.
Yes, that does officially wrap up Group B there as far as top 3 spots. Now, technically, I keep using that word, but for good reason, they are still playing for seeding now.
Yep.
And it's important. I mean, when you think about it, so... Right now we got Lion Esports, Bunker Down, and Pikachu. They are going to be the top 3 coming out of Group B. But as I said, how the format works is, as you can see right there, the updated standings actually. As the format works is where the first seed plays the 3rd seed from the other group.
Right.
The 2 seeds play each other, and then the 1st and 3rd from, in reverse order. So it's basically if they were to stay there like they were there on your screen right now, Pikachu would be 3rd place. They'd be playing the 1st seed out of Group A.
Right.
Now, this is where things get interesting. Because who is going to be the 1st seed in Group A right now?
Probably Gary Johnson. Correct?
Gary Johnson 2012 is very likely going to be the 1st seed in Group A. Talk about a show match that I am very interested in seeing. Gary Johnson 2012 could very likely be matched up against Pikachu in a best-of-5 show match to see who's going to DreamHack win in 2012. Now,
that would be a lot of fun to watch.
If you aren't following what I'm getting at here, Gary Johnson 2012, of course, that's Swindle Melons and Z-Freak, their team. They were formerly on Pikachu in the Redemption Tournament, but, they parted ways for whatever reason. It just seemed maybe they weren't getting along, whatever, but they parted ways. So they're going to be kind of going at it against one another, and that would be a lot of fun. Again, nothing's guaranteed, it's set in stone just yet, but I'm saying the possibility. It actually is. It's likely even there. So that's kind of cool. That's setting up. Which of course those best of 5s they are going to be epic and they are taking place next week. But we still do have one more day here of the group stages, Trev.
We do. It should be a lot of fun. And in fact, do we have the schedule there for tomorrow? That would be a lot of fun to watch. See what matches are being played. Yes, we do. Okay, tomorrow. We're going to be casting the Returners versus FYKU. This is a very important match, guys.
Yeah.
Returners definitely need to win this in order to maybe get that spot, but they also have to rely on some other things as we talked about because we have, if you look, where is Q Squad? Q Squad. The first one, they're taking on Team Kirk. if they, as we mentioned this before, if they win, but if they only get 2 points, so if they win 2-1 and returners win with a 2-0, getting 3 points, returners will actually qualify because they will have more points than, even though they have the same record as Q Squad. So it's going to be very interesting, very important matches coming up tomorrow.
So it really is. And, that's where you look at not the returners and Q Squad, but you look at Team Kirk and FYKU. Because they're the ones that they're playing not for themselves at this point. They're playing for other teams at this point. So in a sense, FYKU playing for Q Squad and Team Kirk playing for the returners. Because at the very least, they need Team Kirk to take a game off of them, like you said. So, wow. I mean, it's been a long day. But anyways, tomorrow it is going to be a lot of fun. And it is cool that, at least one of the 2 matches that we have for you tomorrow, it actually does have a lot on the line to see who is going to possibly be that 3rd place spot for Group A. Now, with that said, the Group B matchup that we were looking at to cover, as you did see on that screen, we're going to be covering Pikachu versus Black Sheep is the planned matchup. Again, that goes back to, we know the 3 teams that are qualifying, but they are still playing for seeding position. So for Pikachu there specifically, well, that's where it actually matters for them. For Black Sheep, we also get a chance to see them. I know you were intrigued by them. I am as well, kind of some TMM All-Stars even. Yeah. Seeing what they can do against a very, very good team in Pikachu, of course. So, in that sense, there is something on the line, but ultimately they're going to the top 3, and that's really what matters for Pikachu. So, but yeah, tomorrow it's going to be a blast, guys. It's going to be a great wrap-up to these group stages. And after tomorrow, we will have it all officially figured out. We'll know which teams are playing next week, against who, when they're playing, and we're going to know eventually, of course, then which teams are ultimately going to be going to DreamHack Winter 2012 as a result of those Best of 5 series. So it's coming down to the finish here, Trout. It's been a lot of fun so far, and it's a very condensed schedule for this event, of course. Hell, we just started this last week, and here we are already wrapping up the group stages. But
we could also add in some maybe for next week. We obviously have the teams that are going to be playing. Maybe some gold coin giveaways as far as predictions of who's going to take the series and who's going to win that trip to DreamHack.
There's a good chance that'll be happening.
Yeah. So make sure to tune in to the guys for our Twitters at TralphHon and at BreakyCPK. Of course, check out Honcast.com for the updated VODs as well as news and all that kind of jazz. And then DreamHon.com for the updated brackets and all that jazz that you're seeing on our screen today. So
yeah, good job of wrapping up all the outlets, the media outlets out there.
So much jazz.
We did
oh
that.
God! Someone's gonna take
that.
Someone's gonna take.
Why did we do that, Trout? What are we thinking? Oh my God! All right.
No.
Anyway,
Please
Saturday
don't.
is wrapping up here, guys. Have mercy, please.
This is gonna be
why are you doing it again? You're giving them fuel. All right. Yeah. So that was a fun day though today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Of course, we had some great series there. Last one, okay, let's be honest, it was more of a stomp, but hey, it was fun to watch still, and we at least had some fun and entertaining heroes. But tomorrow, we'll see you then, guys, again at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, 1800 Central European Time. That'll be the returners taking on FYKU, and there is something on the line there. So really looking forward to that matchup. We'll have a Group B matchup after that. And then, of course, we'll know all the teams that are going to be happening in the Best of the 5 show matches. So can't wait for that moment, but we are wrapping up here today. So to officially do it, once again, I'm Breaky CPK. Joining me, as always, is Tralph Mador. And, of course, a shout-out to Killer Orange, that guy over there that you never get to see. But he is a pretty good-looking guy. So
too good-looking.
We will see you tomorrow, guys. Have a good night. See you then.